Welcome to this week's episode of Seahawk Central News. I'm Corin Sponsler, and I'm here with some of the elected officials of the Student Government Association. Please tell me about yourselves.
I'm Dan McCord. I'm going into my second year as student body president. I started SGA 2 years ago when I ran as a freshman for student body vice president, and that is where I began my career in the organization. Very happy to be in it.
Hi, my name is Ali Kristan. I've been involved with Student Government Association since my sophomore year. And this year I'm junior class president and the sustainability project team lead. It's the first time we've had a sustainability project team. And next year I'll be senior class president.
Hi, I'm Meredith Lewis. I just got involved with SGA this year as an at-large senator, and I ran for junior class president for the upcoming year, and I'm really excited to continue serving on SGA.
Awesome. What made you each decide to run for your elected positions?
I actually didn't decide to run again for re-election until very close to the actual election, and I think what really inspired me to go for another term was that I felt like my work was undone. The year goes by so quickly, and you don't realize, by the time your term is over, that you really only had such a short amount of time to accomplish things. And I felt that with so much important work coming up at the university, I couldn't just step away from the organization and kind of leave what I've started undone.
Yeah, for me, it was that one of the main goals of senior class president, or one of the main focuses, is that they run elections, the freshman elections in the fall and the general elections for all positions in the spring. And knowing that I'm graduating and going to have to be leaving Student Government Association, I want to make sure that the next Senate for Student Government Association is as good as it can be, and I want to make sure that we have even more increased voter awareness and even more people involved in the elections process to ensure that Student Government Association continues to grow and expand after I leave.
And I wanted to run for junior class president I really love my group of friends in my class, and I really wanted to help make decisions for it and continue serving on the Senate. So as I'm in helping the junior class senators, and we get to vote on things for our class, and it's exciting.
So what goals do you have for the future of UNCW?
Right now, the university is at a stage where we have a new chancellor and lots of new upper-level administration, so lots of new leadership on campus. And usually when that happens, the entire campus will be involved in an effort to plan for about the next 5 years and kind of set the vision for the university. So I think our main goal for this upcoming year is to ensure that this master plan is very reflective of the student priorities. So we want to make sure that issues like parking are addressed in this plan. What do we do about the parking near the rec center? We want to make sure that the future of the library is addressed. Right now there's a big space issue over there, so we want to see that improved. And also we want to ensure that all this new construction, there's going to be a lot of growth at the university, is always sustainable and eco-friendly. That's very important to us as a campus and to our identity. So we're going to fight hard to make sure that that is the standard for years to come.
Yeah, Dan and the senators have been working really hard on the master plan to make sure that it reflects Student Government Association and reflects the desires of the student body. But for me personally, I think that I'll be continuing with sustainability-minded goals, so making sure that as our university continues to grow and we create new buildings or we add on to existing buildings and put new policies into place to make sure that they're environmentally focused and that we have voices sticking up on behalf of environmental and economic sustainability. And also I want to make sure that we continue to see elections grow. Our senior class president and the candidates this year did a great job making sure that elections increased, because there was 4 times more of the student body population involved in votes this year, but it was still a very small percentage of the student population who was involved in voting. So it's definitely a goal to make sure that we see that number come up a lot more.
And for me, like Dan said, I'm really focused on the future of the school and the students, and I just want everybody to have as good of an experience as I have had at this school, and just to further their education, but get the most out of it.
Dan, since this is your second term as student body president, is there anything you would do differently?
Yes, I am going to try a lot harder next year to be more hands-off. And I know that might sound like, senioritis, but, this year I felt a lot of pressure to, have a hand in everything and try to control everything too much. And that can maybe come from the anxiety of the job. You want to make sure nothing goes wrong. But after a very successful year working with the Senate, and now we have a very matured and capable group of people going into this next year, I'm going to try to do a lot more delegation. I trust the people in SGA to do a good job. I think that we can have different people serving on committees, different people actually going out and being the direct connection with administration, whereas previously it was mostly a president role. I think SGA could do a better job of having more representatives directly in those conversations.
So how do you all plan to give a voice to students in your different years here at UNCW, and how will you communicate with them and communicate their ideas?
So, in order to give a voice to the student body, a big portion of that is being present in all these meetings where decisions are made. We don't necessarily write a resolution that changes, the entire university. We don't declare things to happen and then sweeping change comes. Where we represent the voice and actually get real things done is in meetings like the master plan discussions, where different people from around the university are together talking about the issues and actually coming up with a real plan of action. That's where the student voice comes in. And when we're in those meetings and we're present and we've done our research, we've done our outreach, we know what students want in these areas, it's our duty then to go in and voice those concerns directly to the administrators that are listening to us around the table, and that is what gives the student voice a real presence at this university.
I know several times this year we've had members do tabling events, or they'll send out polls online, basically just looking for feedback from students about what they'd like to see changed about the university, or any suggestions that they have or things that they really like. And I think a lot of that, more than that, just starts on a conversation level basis too. I know when you're going to your classrooms and you're speaking to students in your class, you might hear them say, "Oh, we hate the chairs in Dobo, they're always breaking, I feel unsafe." Or you might be in the library and people are talking about how there's no space. You can see how students don't have space to sit. Or if you go to a lot of different student organization meetings, and it's pretty much the goal of a lot of student organizations to change things on campus or to have a goal put into place. So I think that's where we can really help out and where we can grow an opinion about what the students want to see from grassroots.
Like she said, just talking to students about it really helps. I'm on the campus dining committee right now, so I talk to a lot of students and just listen at different dining halls to see what they would like changed, and then we meet about it. And really a lot of these things have been possible, and it's just the means of getting to see what needs to be changed that helps.
Okay, and kind of going off of that, how do you plan to enact or counteract the recent laws going into effect in North Carolina and the country? There have been a lot of different protests and such on campus with students. How do you plan to kind of work with that?
Well, personally speaking, I don't agree with the laws that have been passed, and I don't appreciate the actions in any way, shape, or form. And unfortunately, being a public university, we fall under the umbrella of state law, and we have to defer to it. So as a university, we have to put our personal views behind, unfortunately, and deal with the laws in place. However, I will say that Student Government Association is 100% committed to diversity and inclusion on campus. We don't want anyone to feel unsafe on campus. We don't want anyone to feel unwelcome. And we will very likely be having a much louder voice this year on this specific issue. We don't want our campus to turn into an environment where, someone's afraid to be themselves or afraid to, communicate their views to anybody. Student government won't stand for that. So we are going to put forth a resolution tonight, actually, at our meeting to officially oppose House Bill 2, which was just recently passed. As a Student Government Association, we are going to voice our opinion against it. And you'll see an increase in programming. We're going to offer more places and chances for students to voice how they feel about this, how they feel about the climate politically. There's a lot of fiery rhetoric in the presidential election too. So we're going to try to stay above all that. we're going to try to keep, the environment positive and inclusive, and, you never have to worry about SGA ever deferring from that mission.
Yeah, I agree completely with everything Dan just said. I also strongly oppose the recent legislation with House Bill 2 and think it's a horrible thing that there are students on our campus who don't feel safe for that reason and for other legislations and other things that have happened historically in Wilmington in the past. As horrible as it is, though, I do think it's an exciting time that all of these students on our campus can come together and have a voice about it. I think that it's in the hands of every student on this campus to make sure that what they feel is being heard. And I always think that it's powerful when students can come together and say, we all agree about this and this is our mission for our future. So I think it's in the hands of us, and it's also in the hands of the UNCW student body population to keep doing what they're doing and saying that, hey, this is what we believe and we want to be included and this is what we're going to do about it.
And going off of that, just a final note, I just want UNCW to be seen as a place that welcomes everyone. I've always felt welcomed here, and I don't want it to be a place where people feel like they're not included or just people are going against them. So,
Talk a little bit about how you feel about the NC bond, too.
So we're extremely excited about the new Connect NC bond. The fact that the state has voted to approve a $2 billion investment into higher education shows that, the people of North Carolina are still committed to having a quality university system, and they are committed to the mission of higher education, which is to have, a well-informed and productive population. More specifically to UNCW's campus, the money we're getting, which is $66 million to build the new Allied Health building, which is going to include lots of new lab space, modern classrooms, faculty offices, programming space, pretty much everything that we're lacking in our lecture halls right now that we need more of is going to come in this building. And it's really going to put, I think, our status as the premier healthcare university of the state. Is going to cement it and show that our nursing program is growing very quickly and very successfully. And I personally believe that, healthcare is one of our unique niches as a school. We're very good at it. We have great programs there. So this building is, going to advance that, and I think eventually we'll see, really, the premier program in the state.
I think as far as the complete plans for what exactly is going to be going on in the building, I can't speak for them certainly because I don't think that those are set into place, or if they haven't been shared yet. But from what I'm to understand, there will be, although it will be the Allied Health building with a focus on that, other departments are going to have some space in there to expand as well. So it should be a positive thing for most all majors.
I helped table to get people to vote for it and to help sign voters up. So I'm just really excited that it passed and that UNCW has this opportunity for the coming years. And I think it'll really help expand our campus.
Okay, great. Is there anything you'd like to add overall?
Go Seahawks.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Go Seahawks.
Go Hawks.
We almost beat
Wings
Duke.
up.
Right, we did almost beat
We
you.
almost beat Duke.
Okay, well, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Seahawks Central News. Continue soaring high, Seahawks.